If I told you that I had an owner who was insisting that Ford Duraspark will not work on a DeLorean, would you be surprised? I have no idea why certain DeLorean owners get it stuck in their craw that you cannot deviate from the factory ignition system. But they do. And they will argue to the ends of the earth that you cannot deviate from the ignition that the car was built with. I've got to wait until tonight to make a video to show him that yes, indeed, Ford Duraspark fires both sides of the engine properly. This camera will not pick up the timing light in the sunshine, so I got to wait until after the sun goes down. But in the meantime, I'm going to film this video real quick because I think you might find it interesting, the operational philosophy of Duraspark versus the Bosch ignition module. I have both on my car. I have both the original Bosch module and a Duraspark module, so I can switch back and forth between them. And I've got the Bosch module plugged in right now. So what I'm going to show you is the dwell angle between the two of them. And the dwell angle measures how long the primary windings in the coil are grounded, how long they're being charged up before the coil discharges. And what you're going to see is that the Bosch module has about 40 degrees of dwell, and as you rev up the engine, the dwell angle will actually increase. Okay, the amount of time that the primary windings spend charged will increase. And I believe Bosch does that because they typically provide relatively low voltage into the coil, so it's harder for the coil to saturate itself because of the low voltage being fed into the coil. So they increase the amount of time that the coil is saturated. This is the Bosch ignition module, and it has about 40 degrees of dwell. This is a 6-cylinder scale, so it has about 40 degrees of dwell. Now watch what happens as I rev it up. The dwell on the Bosch module increases. So let me plug up my Duraspark module, and you're going to see that it behaves exactly the opposite. It's going to start at about 46 degrees, and as I rev it up, dwell is going to decrease. Okay, I've got the Duraspark module plugged in now, so you'll see that it starts at about 46 degrees of dwell, and then as I rev up the engine, dwell is going to decrease rather than increase, like it did with the Bosch module. The Duraspark module is about 46 degrees, and then as I rev it up, you're going to see the dwell decrease. So the Bosch module increases dwell as you rev it up, and the Duraspark module decreases dwell. And I suspect that that is Ford's methodology to minimize the chances of a misfire, or to increase the chances of ignition, because during the dwell cycle there is no secondary ignition. So by decreasing the dwell time, you're increasing the amount of time that the mixture is exposed to the secondary windings, and increasing your chances of igniting the mixture. So that is one difference between the Bosch module and Duraspark. Bosch is about 40 degrees, that then increases to about 46. Duraspark is about 46, that decreases to about 40.